I pumped hard on Cold Dot and Ignite Vortex. I grinded Mage Blood super fast, had a bunch of fun, did some Deli, but because I'm such a cool and kind, relatable streamer, I didn't even make a Mage Blood build, not yet, okay? Instead, I re-rolled Corrupting Fever Champion to try out the new Vol Reap stuff, give it a try, and kind of show my stream how it's done, twitch.tv/trypolarbear. So yeah, I re-rolled on Corrupting Fever Champion. I did a low budget, Corrupting Fever Champion, and I grinded all the way through the entire game. From, whatever axe. Okay, I did Hollow Palm through the axe, okay? I'll keep it a buck. I did Hollow Palm through the axe. But from early maps onward, I gave myself one single divine to buy whatever it is that I needed. And from there on, I didn't give myself any other currency. I only used the currency that I had gotten from farming white map and yellow map legions. Right, I got myself some Rusted Legion, and I obviously gave myself the regrets for the Atlas passive tree, whatever this, the Orb of Unmakings. I respect my tree to Legion, right? Legion's super good, and that's exactly what I did. I just farmed on a low-budget Corrupting Fever Champion, doing Legions. It was like 1 div budget. This build absolutely blasts and shreds white and yellow map Legions, even at like level 70-something. I was just tearing these open. I'm getting raw divines to drop, right? It's just an absolute blaster of a build. It's super fun. And I just used all the currency I made from that Legion to have the red map farming version, where I can now farm red maps. So I was doing red map dunes, right? I had some dunes already laid out. Obviously, I mean, it would take you a little bit to get a couple dunes, whatever. But, I started blasting some Dunes Legion. You can do it on different maps. You could do it on whatever maps you have. Just so you know, I reskinned my Stygian to have Mage Blood, okay? I'm not actually wearing Mage Blood, okay? I used a skin transfer. I promise, okay? I used a skin transfer. All right, that's a Stygian. I was just so tired of people asking me why I didn't have the Mage Blood on, so I put the Mage Blood on, okay? But then I just blasted some red map legions, right? I was doing some altars, clicking some stuff, having a bunch of fun, and not really dying because it's Corrupting Fever Champion. Okay, you got big armor, you've got Fortify, you've got lots of armor and evasion rating. It's real nice. And you got max res, low spell block with some Sapphire's Frame action. So we blasted that. And all the currency I got, I used to be able to farm 60% Delirium Diviner Orbs, right? I farmed up some stacked decks. I blasted. I made some Divines. We blasted some 60 Deli. And all through this journey, this was like a 10 divine budget version, right? It was whatever I got from doing the legions and whatnot. I just sold that stuff and afforded some little bit extra gear. Items like Fourth Vow to make myself super tanky. Stuff like that. Super, super good. And I just bought, I just showed on stream how to buy really cheap items, how to be very efficient with your currency. Stuff like this helmet where you have 3 really good suffixes and a pretty decent life roll and an open prefix, right? Stuff like this. Man, I think I got this for like 5 or 10 chaos. Like, some of you guys are wearing gear right now. Some of you guys, you have the equivalent of that raggedy, crappy t-shirt that your mom bought from a thrift store back in high school. You have that on in your 30s right now on your character. It's time to upgrade, dude. Just go to Walmart and buy the new Hanes t-shirt. Just buy it. Just buy, right? Go to Target and buy a cool design t-shirt. It's like 10 chaos, okay? It's like $10, dude. Get a new helmet. Get new gloves. Get new boots, okay? Please. This stuff, at this point in the league, stuff like this is so cheap. And then you just use a couple lesser Eldritch, lesser Embers, and you've got yourself a pretty good helmet, right? Craft whatever you want on there. Projectile Spears. As you probably noticed, though, we'll talk about a few things for Corrupting Fever Champion, stuff that changed. But if you're a stream watcher, you probably know it's coming up next. All through this journey, white maps, yellow maps, into 60% Delirium T16 strands with compasses and everything. All throughout this journey, this build is so good, okay? It's so good because I didn't even have Resolute Technique expect, I didn't realize this until about 2 days ago when I was blasting 80% delirium. And I asked myself, why does it feel like my kinetic blast isn't hitting monsters? Right? I chose an evasion red altar or something like that. And I'm like, why does it feel like my stuff's not landing? Like, what is happening? And I check, and alas, I didn't have Resolute Technique on the whole time. I was farming delirium content with like 20% accuracy. I was farming legions with like 20% accuracy all through the game. I built a whole character from 0 to 80% delirium farming without Resolute Technique on, okay? This build is that good. It's that good. Okay, guys, log in. You are a tanky legion farmer, you're fast, and the playstyle is pretty easy and fun, especially while you're still on the post-pen version. There's max roll articles for a league start version. The one that I did, the budget 0, absolutely nada, all the way up to a separate article where we have an endgame version. We are doing a lot more crafting and having a lot more powerful of a build. But yeah, this is without Resolute Technique. This is with like 20% accuracy. I can tell you, man, as soon as I swap, dude, it's so much better than it even looks on stream. Oh my gosh, than it even looks in this VOD, okay? But yes, there you go. Go play Corrupting Fever Champion. It's very good, you guys. It's very good, especially if you're a brokey and you need some currency. Just do CF Champ in white map legions, then do it in yellow map legions. And when you're powerful enough, do it in red map legions. And then you can graduate and you can do whatever you want. But for me, I did 60 and 80% delirium because I am at home in the gray zone. All right, here's some stuff that I changed though. The first thing is Vengeance Cascade. This is really, really, really nice in delirium. It's the big meme this league, right? Attack projectiles return to you. Returning projectiles pierce all targets. This just makes it so when I shoot my KB, the KB projectiles also go behind me. So it's really nice when I'm doing stuff like breaches. You'll see it. I'll just be like blasting a breach. I'll open a strong box. It'll shoot behind me. I'm doing like legions or whatever. And everything is just constantly shooting behind me. And it's great. Well, what was that? All right, ignore that. That was stream content, okay? That was, excuse me. That was stream content. That was on stream, okay? I promise. Okay, breaches. Breaches. Look at this. The projectiles, they're flying everywhere. Don't think about what just happened. I mean, look at it go, right? I'm shooting forward. They're coming backwards. I'm shooting backwards. They're going behind me. It's just really nice to have all the extra projectiles, having that bleed chance there, applying my Corrupting Fever debuff, doing all of that stuff is really killer. And Vengeance Cascade is probably the reason why I didn't even notice that I didn't have Resolute Technique on, because of how many hits were happening with the few hits that did end up landing. It just didn't make it that noticeable, and I was just kind of pogging out, dude. I don't know, I was farming anyways, like everything was dying no matter what anyways. But yeah, Vengeance Cascade, it's really good. I am in a much higher budget version now. I sold the Mage Blood, I crafted some gear. I crafted items like this, +2 with Fizz Dot multi. This is on the max roll article. I crafted a wand like this. This isn't on the max roll article because this is like another. This is like the max roll article. We have like league start article, mid game article, and then maybe I'll do an end game article where it has items like this. But this wand is like insane. This wand is insane. Okay, +2 spell damage. T1 dot multi, T1 fizz dot multi, attack speed. All I need is a little bit better of a crucible tree, but come on. Wand Slinger and endurance charge on kill ain't half bad. With this setup, I'm still Mark of Submission because I can gear my character enough where I don't need to give this slot up, which allows me to have a level 24 vulnerability instead of a level 1, where you would have that on a vuln on hit ring, right? Whether it's Warlord Influence, a Delve mod, or the Synth Implicit. That's a level 1 version of vulnerability. So I think it's like something like 10% or 15% damage. So I was able to keep that, mainly because I have a Saffles with 80 dex, which frees up 2 suffixes. So my suffixes are all pretty full right now. I am overcapped on res, right? I could give up some res. Actually, yeah, you know what? You don't need the dex here. I have like, dude, I'm at 186 cold res. I can actually just give up 48 cold res here and another 40 here, and I'm still totally fine at like 100 something. So yeah, you can gear without having to give that up. You just need to have very, very tight gearing. So, you know, rings like this where I have 50 int, 2 all res, chaos res, crafted life. Dude, this was cheap. I think I got this for like, I don't know, like this piece of gear, and my boots were actually like super cheap, like less than 50 chaos, something like that. And then I did Eldritch Implicits on these two pieces, and then just craft life here. This belt was also like a 50 chaos pickup. It was something like that. Pretty cheap stuff for Stygians at this point in the league with triple res and, you know, just a little bit of life. Like, it doesn't have that much life, right? 40, but hey, man, it works, okay? It works. These gloves I crafted super easy. I just did deafening. You grab a fractured base, you do a deafening into essence until you hit another res. And then you could just do whatever for prefixes, right? Eldritch Chaos, Eldritch Exalted and all, right? It's just the basic stuff. But yeah, then I did a fourth vow. You just buy a +2 duration base, and you can taint Jeweler. So you make it 4 sockets, then you tainted Jeweler to 5 sockets, again to 6. You know, if it goes down to 3, then you force 4 on the bench again, and you do the same for the links. So I bought the base for 4 div, and it took me, I don't know, dude, like maybe 4 tainted fusings, 5 tainted fusings. So an extra 200 chaos, you know, like an extra div. So it's like it's 5 divines for a +2 duration 4th vow. Like, oh my gosh. This chess piece is so insane. It's so good. It's so good. Especially if you're divine flesh and you already have that extra 5 max chaos res, right? It's just crazy. It's just bonkers, okay? Armor also applies to chaos damage taken from hits. So my armor is also applying to half of all the elemental damage that I'm taking, which I already have max res to with Saffles. I could have even more if I wanted to take some extra stuff on the tree. You know, I could like spec up here. I could even move up here if I wanted to be, but I'm, you know, pretty tanky enough as is. One thing that gets me in Delirium encounters is there's 2 things. I click Meteor Altar and then I'm like looting. That gets me sometimes. Okay, I'll keep it honest. Number 2, Soul Eater Esh monsters. Yeah, in 80% Deli, they just go and I kind of just get absolutely shredded. But yeah, unlucky, dude, unlucky. Right now with this setup, I'm on the, you see I have rare gloves, right? You might be asking, why do I have rare gloves? I'm on the Gratuitous Violence Jewels. So these jewels let me give up Hemophilia, where I have now a better explosion, right? Hemophilia, the gloves give a 5% physical explosion. These give 10. I also get 20 more fizz damage over time, which is about 4% more damage than a triple damage mod rare jewel. So that's really nice, right? It's like an extra 8% damage. I have double the explosion power, and I've freed up my glove slot where I can now have 20 extra fizz dot multi, and I get 3 suffixes, life roll, and +1 gems, or I could have an additional pierce here. But since I'm Vengeance Cascade, the new setup, I have 1 pierce here, and then I get 1 pierce from Divergent Fork. So I have 2 pierces. Now you can probably get away with like 1 pierce, maybe even no pierces. Now I think I would still do 1 in non-Deli content, but 2 pierces feels nice in Delirium. There's just so many monsters. So now I have 2 pierce, and the projectiles will fork as well. So the pierce happens first, and then the fork happens afterwards. Then I have a Divergent Kinetic Blast. Instead of getting an additional pierce from I think it's Anomalous KB, you could do Divergent KB, and you get 30 AoE after forking. So the projectile explosions are just a little bit bigger. But who knows? I might try just giving up this pierce right here and doing like, I don't know, +1, you know, AoE or something. I could get like an extra level on my shield charge. Or no, actually you would just do like Fizz's Fire. You would just do the Coral Craft on your helmet. So yeah, that would be, I'll probably try that today, actually. That'd probably be better. But yeah, that's the big thing. I guess for how to craft the wand, some guy has like a channel named I Love Rue or something. He took a Rue clip that was linked to me about how to craft the wand. It's actually not terribly complicated, but you are going to get effed in your A if you try to craft this and you don't have like 30 plus divines ready to just be absolutely obliterated, okay? For the wand, you obviously are going to start with a fractured base. Here, I even have the costs for this wand up. So it was a 7 divine base. And then I have the cost for my amulet too. It was a 7 div base for just a good attack rate on an engraved wand, right? I think it's a 1.5, I believe, 1.5 base attack rate with T1 dot multi-fractured. That was 7 divs. All right, past that, what you do is you do corroded, jagged, shuddering, and metallic fossil. You do those until you hit +1 spell, then you annul down, and you can do caster can't be rolled for 1 div, you know, if you don't want to do the fossils again, to try to annul down, because that will stop the annul from hitting your +1 spell. But you want just +1 spell on there. And you multi-mod, cannot roll attack, and then just craft like cold damage or any prefix, just to block a random prefix. And then what you want to do is you do Aug Fizz on Harvest. So now you have a +2, hopefully, unless it removed your +1 because you can't lock. With the dot multi there, you can't actually do prefixes cannot be changed. So you might have to go back to that step 2. All right, GG's, dude. That's the first effing in your A. So hopefully now you have a +1/+1 with fractured dot multi. That's it. Then you craft prefix can't be changed, and you Ashling. Hopefully it hits a prefix. If it doesn't, F your A. Okay? You got suffix, well, unveil something stupid. And you have to do prefix can't be changed, scour, just to be safe. You can technically do caster, cannot roll caster and annul, but now you're at a 50-50. And as you can see here, when I was doing my 50-50 annul to only have +1 at that second step, I failed 7 50-50s in a row. It cost me, instead of 2 divines, it cost me 7 div. I love 50-50s. Okay, so hopefully now you have a veiled prefix. Now you just have to unveil the good spell damage. If you didn't, then you would unveil a non-caster mod and you would craft cannot roll caster mods and you would annul that non-caster mod, right? You would do, if you can't have any spell damage, you wouldn't do something, you know, with a caster mod. You would just do like Fizz or something and you annul it. All right. Let's assume you got spell damage though. You've made it. You're through the gauntlet. You're safe. Your prefixes are safe. You've made it, okay? You've made it. You're actually safe now. From this moment forward, you just craft prefixes cannot be changed if you're very satisfied, right? And you want to not have any more luck. You do prefix can't be changed and you don't reforge Fizz because that could fill your wand up, but you would augment Fizz, which is much more expensive, but guarantees that your wand won't fill up with random crappy mods and a crappy Fizz down multi. So yeah, for me, I hit the very first Aug Fizz and hit T1 dot multi, which was like a 1 in 25. Got a little bit lucky, but yeah, you would go about 7 of those to hit T1 or T2. I think it's about 7 or 8, which is pretty pricey, but now you have a great wand. And then you just craft attack speed. And then you get to interact with Crucible. Yay! Then you get to try to have good Crucible mods. Apparently you start from the 4th mod and then go in. But I just got Endurance Charge on Kill and Wandslinger, and that's good enough for me for now. That is plenty fine for me. But yeah, that's Corrupting Fever Champion, man. With the new updated stuff. I guess I have a Natural Instinct here. I purchased that. That was a really good pickup for Delirium farming. Having an extra 36 AoE, extra 9 cast speed, some life regen, some Fizz damage, and some skill effect duration to help with Corrupting Fever and all that. Yeah, it's really good. A Natural Instinct, Corrupting Fever, and Forbidden Rite are probably some of the best builds that use a Natural Instinct. Old FR, self-cast Aki. But yeah, man, that is such a good jewel for Corrupting Fever. I'm still doing Energized Armor here. It's a little troll because I don't actually have those 2 points yet either. But I really like the extra armor, and I more so enjoy the 30 reduced extra damage taken from crits, as that's one of those things that can still get me. So I take that and the armor mastery. So I'm at least at 60. I'm thinking eventually of swapping my Saffles to a corrupted base that has 30 reduced extra crit damage as well. So I'm at like 90. But yeah, and then I have another 10 fizz taken as chaos, which is real nice, you know, divine flesh and all that. But yeah, aside from that, I don't think there's anything else too fancy that may be changed from Corrupting Fever champion stuff. You know, you just use Vol Reap, get your Corrupting Fever leveled up all the way, buy good Awakened Gems. I don't know. I got an Empower 4. I only bought Empower 4 after I crafted like everything else. It's not too crazy of an upgrade for a while, but you can probably buy it earlier than I did. But yeah, CF champion, I'm just blasting away. You want to see me blast some 80% delirium skitterings? I rolled 144 80% not skitterings, divination card rewards. These are actually a little bit better than skittering, okay? Just so you know, but now they're all bought up because I did it on stream. It's the pretty much same setup, except you do, instead of Deli reward fill faster, you do beyond. But yeah, 144 of those. I did 60 something of them already, and we are looking at about 100 chaos profit per map, which is somewhere around 25 to 30 more than you do with scarabs, and you're clicking way less. So it's actually just way better. Anyways, like, subscribe. I'll catch you guys later, and peace out, homies. Bye.